We just completed our first year in business, and we're going to give you an overview of our marketing tactics, business operations, and lead source findings of our mobile RV tech business.
Now, this video is going to be jam-packed full of information. You're going to be drinking out of a fire hose, so get ready.
If you don't already know us, I'm Steve, and this is Erica Buvalowski. We operate mobile RV tech services. Our regular service area is in Michigan. This is May through November, and we snowbird to Texas January through April.
Okay, let's start off with our home base area in Michigan. Let's start with inventory and how that differs.
Okay, so then to back up from that, we were full-time on the road for 4 years, bought the house in September of 2023. Now that we have the house, I have a lot more room for inventory and stocking parts.
Which is really good.
Yeah, and that's important because a lot of our customers that come to our service area are only there for 2 or 3 days while they're on vacation. So there isn't time to order parts because that takes longer than that. And a vacation on the weekends typically. So unless they're a regular customer in an area, having parts on hand definitely helps take care of those people that are coming through. That way they don't have to go home early from their vacation.
Okay, now we're going to get into the lead sources for our Michigan area. We're going to explain these more in detail, and you're going to see this graph later. I'm just going to flash it up on the screen right now so you can see where our leads are coming from in our Michigan area. Okay, so this graph, we were in our main service area for 6 months, and 60% of that time we were staying in an RV park, and then we moved into the house. And this is the top 10, so there was a lot more lead sources, but these are the ones that we're going to talk about. And obviously you can see number 10 was only 1%, so most of the other ones were small and aren't very significant. I do want to point out that in our Michigan area, we are inside local Facebook groups. So when you see Facebook as one of the lead sources, that could be our Facebook page. That could be someone tagging us on a page if someone said, who do you recommend for RV repair? Or it could be coming from a Facebook group.
As you work your way down the list, the Google online search is pretty self-explanatory. Someone searched mobile RV tech near them and they found us and called. Now with the RV park referral, this is someone from the RV park telling them to call us. Usually at these RV parks, they have our cards at the front desk. So someone comes in and they have an issue, they will say, here's a card, give Steve a call, he'll help you out.
But I want to point out the in-person walk-up. That means that we were out and about in the public. Maybe someone saw our van, they had our shirts, they asked us a question, we gave them a card. Single person refer, that was one of our customers just referring us out. And word of mouth referral is someone, when we asked them where they heard about us, they said, I'm not sure, or someone at the RV park told me about you. And then business card brochure means that they had our business card or brochure from somebody else. Like they don't know who it was, they couldn't give us a higher level. Our business cards and brochures are also stocked in the RV park office, where if we know they got it from the office, we'll change the referral from business card to RV park because that's where they got the business card from. So this bottom one where it says just 8 jobs from business cards, that's just 8 that we can pinpoint that they got a business card, but they don't know where they got it from.
And thanks for clearing that up, Erica, because someone might see that and say, I don't need business cards because it's only 1% of the business.
We're going to go into that a little bit later where we're going to compare Michigan versus Snowbird area. Now, a common question is, where are you advertising to get your name out there? Now, the Michigan area is different than Snowbird area because we're putting roots down in the community and we want to be part of the community. So with that, we joined the local area chamber of commerce. I actually worked at a local chamber for 5 years. That's how I met Steve and got married. Fun fact. We put an ad in the local visitor guide this year, and it's a vacation tourist town, so a lot of tourists pick those up. Now, do they have RVs? We don't know, but there's a lot of RV parks around. But we do want to get our name out there with the locals so they know that we're new in the area because we just came into town last year.
And we have a banner going up at the local Little League fields, and we have a Touch a Truck event at our local
That's going to be fun. Touch
city.
a truck.
Yeah.
Our vehicle's not going to be awesome to touch, but we're going to bring fun there, so that's a...
I might get distracted and go play with the other trucks.
Yeah, it'll be me with the truck, and he's going to be in the heavy equipment. That's what's going to be going on. So those are all just awareness events. We're not looking to get a whole bunch of jobs from them. We just want to get our name out in the community so people can say, hey, I saw somebody, they're new in town, and spread our name that way. Now we're also putting an ad in our local KOA. It's like the newspaper you get when you check in with your site information, and that one is for direct leads.
And you do Google ads, so explain that one more.
Okay, we do $150 a month in Michigan and in Texas just to run, so our name's getting out there and Google will put you to the top. And with Google ads, I always get the question for mobile RV techs, which category did you use? And right now, after we bought our house, I did change it to RV repair shop where you have to have a physical location because I don't want it to come up as RV part supplier, which that's what you have to be in if you do not have an address listed. And with the Google business profile, we need to talk about that because Google wants to give the best information out so people will go back to Google and search on its platform. So if it doesn't know if you're really open or if you're really in that area, it's not going to show your content. So,
is this where the Google reviews of people posting reviews when you're in the area
so
help?
when you're in that area, like I've noticed when we go to Texas, my Google ads wouldn't even show to anybody. Well, we weren't getting any traction on them until we got 2 reviews from people that were in the area, and Google knows that they're in the area. And then they're like, oh, they really are in the area now because they were just in Michigan, so now we're going to start showing the ads. So it's very important to get Google reviews from people and to keep your Google account, for one, fill the whole thing out and do the updates too. It has an update section where you can say different updates to Google, and that shows that you're active on your account. You're there. If they show your Google listing to other people, that they know that that customer is going to have a better experience with your business because it knows that you're active.
So basically, Google account is like a social media page. You need to say active for Google to realize you're active. Okay.
And then Google also sends an email out for all the holidays, and it will say update your holiday hours. Make sure you respond to all those and click it. Even if you're like, yeah, I'm open, just open the email, click the stuff, hit save, and that's another thing that shows Google, hey, they're active and this account is valid. Let me show it to more people. And with that, I've heard of a couple people having issues with their Google account getting shut down because you're traveling, say, every 2 months to different locations as a mobile RV tech, and you're like, hey, I'm here, now I'm here, now I'm here, and that looks fraudulent to Google. So if you have a Google account, you need to have it pretty much set at one location and then run Google ads off of it, or it will shut your account down.
And you can't change the main address. You need to put your Google ads for a location that you're moving to, correct?
Yeah. Keep it at one address and then just run ads to where you're located at. And that should keep your account clean and not flag your account and tell Google that you're a spammer and they need to shut it down.
Nobody wants that.
No. The next question I get is, who made your website? Did you make it? Someone else? What platform is it hosted on? I created my website on Wix. I did it. I designed a website before. I studied it. Figured it all out. It's a lot of work. So when people ask me, hey, I love your website, can you just make mine? No, it's a lot of work. Someone in your local area, someone who does web design can definitely make one for you. And I want access to my website. I know in the past in our business we had our own website too, but some people, when they have someone else make it and then they don't have access to update it, I'm impatient. When I want something changed, I see something wrong, I have an idea, I instantly change my website. Our website is not set it and forget it. I change it probably 5 times a week. I'm in there touching stuff.
Yeah, tweaks everything, like fine-tunes it to a T.
I just thought of something today that when on the phone you said, no, I don't charge extra for Saturdays. I was like, oh, I should put we don't charge extra for weekends and holidays on the pricing page.
Yeah,
I'm just going to do it after this video. Yeah.
Well, I will say, on your website, make sure if you have someone else do it, that you have the login and access to it. I see it too many times where they have someone do it, a local person they found in the street somewhere that can make the website, did a great job, but then when they need to update the information, they can't do it, and they can't get a hold of the person. Then they have to start all over, get a new domain. It's a complete mess. So make sure you have all the logins, you have control over it, and you pay someone when they need to log in to make updates for you.
This person they found on the street, did they live under a bridge?
They might have. They had a computer.
Okay. The next thing you need to know is we run our business as we would like to be treated. We have everything transparent. You don't have to call and figure out what the price is and figure out what the mileage. You can go to our website, the Schedule Now page, and everything is listed out. They can figure out, besides how long it's going to take for the repair job, they need to call and ask that because we don't know either. Depends, everyone's situation is different.
I get a lot of people I talk to that say, I already know your prices, all your stuff. I just need to ask some questions so I can have you come out and take care of it for me.
Well, a lot of them just want to know if you have availability where you can fix their issue.
Yeah, that too.
Since we do have everything on our website, most of the people that have scoped us out, they already know everything about us. We don't have to sell ourselves. We can get right to the point, get right to the job, and we can get a lot more work done that way.
And this is especially true with our pre-purchase Premier inspections.
Oh, yeah.
People can dive into all the information that's on there. There's even a full video for them to watch about how the process works. So there's times when they call, ask about an inspection, I can send them the video link, answers all of their questions. Then when they finish up with that, they can say, when can you schedule it? And I want it done.
Yeah, and that's really nice because sometimes, like as a mobile tech, we're really busy and those conversations for an inspection are long.
Oh, they could
And
be a
so
good half hour.
If you go to our website on the inspection page, you can go watch our video, and at the end of it, like, we show them what we do. We walk through the whole process, and they can see B-roll of us actually inspecting an RV, and then we answer all the frequently asked questions that we get. So that answers 99% of their questions before they ever call us, and then they're just ready to schedule. Unless in the video it says that if you want an inspection the next day, we're not going to be able to help you, then we never hear from them.
True.
Now we're going to get into the Snowbird section, kind of explain where we go for Snowbird.
So we go to Houston, Texas, the same area we started in 2023. We come back in 2024. We'll be here for years to come. We've built a lot of business in the area, and we're looking forward to taking care of those people for quite a while anyway.
Yeah, and Steve wanted to go to a different spot every year and explore stuff, but he's a workaholic. And I'm like, well, when are we going to explore anything? Because all you do is work all the time. And it's really nice to come back to the same area where you already have a customer base set up and you get to go and see your friends again. So we're coming back here. So we just have the two areas, Michigan and Texas.
And that's January through April is when we Snowbird.
So the question I get is, how do I set up my accounts? My website and Google Business especially. I make that all focused on Michigan. And then I have a page on the schedule now. We'll break into, are you scheduling for Michigan or Texas? And then Texas has all the Texas-specific information on it. But I have everything optimized for Michigan. We're there, well, 8 months there, but like 9 months out of the year. And we're in the Snowbird area 3.5 months. So that's when I'm going to run the Google ads while we're in Texas. So with that, our leads in Michigan and Texas kind of come from different places because I'm advertising in different places. So let's go check out that graph. This information that you see is for our first year in business, and we were at the Snowbird RV Park. I call it the Snowbird, that's Texas, for 4.3 months. Going forward, it should be 3.5 months. And we stayed in the RV park 100% of the time, so a lot more of our leads should be coming from RV parks, not houses. A couple things I want to point out on here are the RVTAA locator pin. A lot more people in Texas know about the tech locator, and they use it all the time. Where in Michigan, people actually think that we created being a mobile tech, and they think it's a novel idea, and they can't believe that we would offer something so unique. So there's a lot of education that we're doing with people. We actually changed the logo for our business from We Get You RVing Again to On-Site RV Repair, We Come to You, trying to get that message into their mind.
There's a lot more larger, like Class A RVs. Most people usually have a CoachNet roadside service, so that's where those calls come from. We don't have a lot of CoachNet customers in Michigan. And
the last one I want to point out is our group RV classes. We host free educational classes at the RV park where people can come and learn from us. And we're going to dive into what these numbers mean in a little bit. But we don't offer that in Michigan because people on vacation are not interested in learning while they want their feet in the sand and a beer in their hand.
And I can't blame them.
Yeah, but the people who live in their RV every day and it's just like their house, they're like, yeah, I need to learn how this works a little better. I'll attend the class.
Especially if they're a new full-time RVer.
And that's a good point about if they're a new full-time RVer. There's a lot of full-time RVers that come through the RV park that we're staying at, and the office is so thankful that we put on the classes for them and tries to help us get the people to go to them, because then they don't have to deal with the issues that they're having. Like, we just had someone call that we serviced before, and they're like, can you come out to the RV when you get back for the day? Because we weren't going to get back until dark because they have a hose broken outside. And Steve's like, what kind of hose? I asked them to send a picture. Well, their sewer hose broke, and they don't even know to shut their tanks, like their gray tanks. So they're doing laundry or dishes, and water's just spewing out. And when they sent the picture, it was like the hose was cracked. They just need to put a new hose on. And they told us that they had the replacement pieces, and they'd be able to put it on. It's like, no, you just need to put a new hose, like it just broke off, like the slinky part on the orange part just broke, it cracked. And they didn't even know that they needed to change the hose out, so we needed a little bit more education. But those are the things that the RV park has to deal with when the customers that are coming through here don't know how to use their RV.
In the RV park here, they prefer either me, there's another certified tech around, so between two good techs in the area, they're comfortable with us taking care of their customers.
And when you talk about the RV park referring a couple good techs out, there's a lot of bad techs, as in techs that never call their customers back. So if someone has an issue, like someone needs to leave and they call a tech and they don't even get a return phone call, like
And
days.
I do know that there's some RV parks that will let you put the cards in the office as long as you return calls back to the customer. So if they hand out your card and a person calls you, you don't return their call and they give that feedback to the office, your card's going to garbage.
Yeah, so you definitely want to call people back. So that's why they refer 2 techs out, because they know those 2 techs can service their people. Now let's talk about inventory. I feel like I'm all contorted here, so if you see me doing this, that's how I feel. Inventory here compared to Michigan service area. Michigan service area, I love it now because the whole half of our basement is all parts. In here, you can watch a different video that I will pop up here on the screen. But we took out the couch and we put this custom storage unit in. We also took out the outdoor kitchen so we can have parts. And as you can see, our living room is full of boxes and stuff all the time.
Comparing Michigan to our Snowbird area, keeping parts in the RV is certainly challenging. When I have bigger things like awnings or air conditioners, those are obviously outside. But I need to keep them out of the weather because it's raining right now.
2 air conditioners underneath our RV, and we had a storm right before we filmed this.
And other bigger boxes that come in are challenging. They take up the living room and places like that.
What about the truck? We just had to have a 18-wheeler deliver a pallet to us outside of RV, so that's always fun.
So with that, if you're staying in an RV park, make sure you always check with them first before you send a truck or pallet there, because some of them is a big no-no.
Yeah, and I had to go meet the 18-wheeler, bring them back here, and then tell them how to get out, because there's nowhere up at the front for them to drop anything out without blocking the flow of traffic. Yeah, so that's really important. I also want you to talk about parts being mobile on the road, trying to get them, because now we have a house. When we're there, they can arrive, they can sit on the doorstep, and we can get them anytime. When you're in an RV park, you have, when they're open 9 to 5 or 9 to 8, you have to get them during those hours. And then when you order parts and you say, I'm at this RV park, and they're supposed to come, but they didn't come, and you move to a different RV park, and then your parts arrive there, and you got to go back and chase them.
Yeah, there's sometimes you order something, and the initial plan when you order it should arrive in a week, but it arrives in 4 or 5 weeks, and you're already moving at that point, so you need to keep track of the packages and chase them down. Or if you're at one location, they can show up whenever they show up, as long as it's sometime before December.
I'm really happy that this year, because we just had our 1-year anniversary here, we go back to Michigan, we're going to have everything set up and we don't have to chase parts. Because we even had the RV manufacturer, when you need to change that hot water heater, the address, because you're only allowed to have one address, and since we're going from RV park to RV park, we can't put their address down. He put his mom's address, and so they would only ship it to his mom's address. We have to drive 3 hours to go pick it up and 3 hours back.
Okay.
But that is one of the issues that you deal with when you're a mobile tech. So some of those jobs you might not be able to take because it's too much a logistic nightmare for you.
Okay, now getting back to the script, we already talked about this for a little bit. We can host group classes, which get your name out there to the RVers, and we get some of the jobs directly off people that come into class. But what works out of that is when the RV park sends out the email to everyone or puts the flyers up around saying that Mobile RV Tech Services is there hosting a group class on this Saturday, people might not attend the class, but the awareness gets out there from it. And that would more fall into the RV park referrals on our lead tracking source. They heard about us from the RV park.
Yeah, a lot of times actually when the RV park sends the email out and say our class is in a week and a half,
the phone rings minutes after.
Yeah, the phone rings and they're like, hey, I just saw the RV park sent this out. I need you to do this, fix my AC. Like, they have no desire to go and learn anything, but they're like, oh, okay, cool, you're here. Let's get this done.
And the RV park workers, so they're around the RV park. Sometimes they're parking people, getting them into their spots. Those people are great to get to know and work for them a little bit, maybe donate some time to help them out on their RV if they live at the RV park itself, because you do great work for them. They're going to see how good of a job you do and talk about you as people coming in. Usually people have issues when they come into the RV park trying to set up. That's when the batteries are dead, slides don't come out, they have a water leak, whatever it is, and they see that person driving around and be like, hey, you know someone that can help? They say, I sure do, and they'll have their cards right in the golf cart with them, hand them to the person. Same thing with people in the office. So if they work at the RV park and they live there, we will go over, help them out in their RV, answer their questions for them so they can see what type of job we do, and they feel comfortable referring us out to the people.
Yeah, they know what kind of work you do. Especially when your options are someone who does really good work and they answer their phone, or the people who don't answer the phone.
That's right.
And I do want to say, last year, this RV park that we're staying at, they changed and they don't have an RV parker, but the person who parked RVs last year, he would park them, tell them, like, Munchie's food truck is here, this is going on, and if you need your RV fixed, Steve's amazing, he's over there at this site. So it could be a really good referral source for you.
And we talked about the tech locator. If you don't know what this is, if you're a certified tech through the RVTAA, which went through the NRVTA in Texas, you know, it's a lot of RVs and TAs in there, but you just got to keep them straight. And you can be on the tech locator. So you can put your location and people can search who's around there for looking for a tech. it'll filter by certain specializations
Like
of
generator, splendid, washer
lipper,
and
Dometic,
dryer.
things like that if they want to filter it down. But an overview of it, it'll give them who's closest to them by miles. They can look at your profile, and in the profile, it links to your website from there. So people that search that, they can get directly to you and call. And I also use that on the other end,
Yes.
people that aren't in my area,
All the time.
be like, I'm not in that area, check the locator, and you'll find someone out there. And that goes back and forth with many texts do the same thing.
And with that, there's also one for RV inspector. So there's the tech locator, there's the inspector locator, and we actually get so many calls outside of our service area in Michigan that I made a page on our website telling people how we can service them if they're outside of our area. They can come to our area, and I list all the campgrounds. And then at the bottom of the page, I list those locators. So that's going to be if they're like 3-4 hours away. And then below that, I list every other person who fixes RVs and the dealerships around and give them the information so we don't have to look it up for them. Because in our area, when people are coming through and they need help, like they're on vacation, they're like, I need help today or tomorrow, and if our schedule's full, we can't help them. Like, here's this link, call this person or search the bottom, and it's really helpful. So it's not taking our time trying to provide them the information they're looking for when they're frantic because they're like broke down on the side of the road and their RV's not moving.
And that page is also turned into people that look at the page, see where you're at, and we list the campgrounds in there. They decide to make a vacation, come to our service area, and it's a win-win. They take a vacation, get their RVs fixed by us.
Right now on there, it's March right now while we're filming this, and we already have some jobs booked out of people who have booked their RV park in our service area, and you have the parts being ordered and everything.
Yeah, we're coordinating a couple jobs even into the middle of the summer, 4 or 5 months ahead of time. People that just want to come to the area, taking a vacation, they know we're there. So we have a long list of parts and a couple days booked off in the schedule so we can take care of them.
Now we're going to cover the difference between the lead sources between Michigan and Texas, and you can kind of see a better visual, and I'm going to explain everything now. You saw both of these graphs before, but now you're going to see them together.
And you can always pause the video to take a look at it a little bit deeper, but let's go, Erica.
This is the customer lead sources, and this is the first time we got them as a customer, not repeat customers. These are the two graphs you've already seen, and this is a percentage of gross profit. So this is not revenue. It has all the cost of goods sold, all the air conditioners, and all that taken out. And with this, I'm showing you the time that we were in Texas and the time that we were in Michigan inside our service area. So May 13th to June 30th is not represented on the chart, because with that, we were traveling. We had a whole bunch of appointments. I had eye surgery. I couldn't see for 3.5 weeks. I know Steve's a workaholic. I did not let him take jobs. So basically, Steve only serviced our friends and a couple people that randomly found him, like on the tech locator and things. I think he did 15 jobs during this time period that aren't represented on here. On the left-hand side, this is the Snowbird one that you saw. The right-hand side is Michigan. You already saw these graphs. Since you can see everything together, I want to explain it more. There's a big difference when you look at it. On the left-hand side, on the Snowbird, you don't see Facebook on here. On the right-hand side, you see huge Facebook. And I kind of alluded to this earlier. When we're in Texas, I'm not in any local Facebook groups. While I'm in Michigan, I'm in a couple different Facebook groups. And I know we get lots of business from there. So this Facebook number is going to be either they saw our Facebook page, which is very popular, but most of those people who follow us are not in our area. And then it's going to be the local Facebook groups or someone tagging us when they ask for a recommendation through the Facebook group or their personal page. As I said earlier, the tech locator is very popular in the South. In Michigan, it did not appear in this top 10 list that we're looking at. Again, Steve said that a lot of people use CoachNet because they have larger Class A's. A lot of people have bigger RVs here because they're living in them full time, where Michigan is a lot of smaller campers, pop-up campers, smaller things.
Yeah, more travel trailer type
So
RVs.
People don't need that service. In Texas, there's a lot bigger population, so we did have some of the people who follow us on Instagram call us and schedule a service call when they saw that we came down to Houston. And then we have the RV group classes that we talk about that we only do in Texas, we don't do in Michigan, so that's why you don't see them over there. But then in Michigan, you can see where it says the single person refer. That's one of our customers referred us out and got us 13 different jobs.
Call it a super customer.
So from this graph, you can see that different lead sources are very important. You just don't want to be doing one thing. You need to get your name out there in different areas because they all come together as one.
Yeah, many little things add up to the big picture. So if you just focus on doing one of these things in general, sure, you might get a few more leads out of just one thing to put all your effort into it, but spreading yourself across different areas definitely helps you bring in business from different areas as well.
Now we're going to go into the next section of how we operate our business. Now, we're not saying this is what you need to do. We're just sharing what we do, and it works for our skills and our interests.
And I want to point this out because people look at a business as a bird's eye view and they say, hey, I can do that. But keep in mind that we have 9 years of doing business together before starting the mobile RV tech business. And to see Erica posting videos on social media, making updates and those type of things, and she does all the marketing end of it, and to think that, oh, Erica does that for the business with Steve, my wife can do that too. But keep in mind, Erica has 15 years of experience doing this. She has a bachelor's degree in marketing, a master's in business, and she's a podcast junkie, always trying to fine-tune the business, learn new things. I think she listens to over 20 hours a week of podcasts and business stuff, of learning and doing that. So if that's not what your wife normally does, it's not her jam, don't try to force on her to do that. You need to figure out another way to do it, or just be okay with doing stuff yourself.
Just don't expect the same level of marketing that we're outputting, because if your wife's a great cook and you put me in the kitchen, I can't do it. Like, I shut down. Let's go order some food. It's not happening. And the same is going to be true for Steve being a mobile tech. People see him fixing stuff and said he went to school to learn how to do it. I can do the same. Yes, you can. But just know that he's very skilled. Everything comes natural to him. That he's always digging, fixing, building, fabricating. He's just like, oh, here's an issue. Let me make this thing out of nothing. And be like, oh, okay. And he can also visualize stuff in his head. So when someone calls and he's asking them the problems that they're having, he's like, do-do-do-do-do. And he's seeing everything. And he's like, well, it could be this, this, or this. And he already has stuff pinpointed down and making sure he brings those parts. And he was pulling engines out of like race cars when he was 8 or something. I mean, it's crazy. So he has a lot more experience. So just know that if you get into being an RV tech, he's had experience probably since age 8, 10 of doing this type of work.
And I grew up with family business, repairing, doing service calls, technical work.
Oh, yeah.
So that comes natural to me, being able to do those type of things.
So we don't say any of this to scare you. We just don't want to set you up for disappointment when we make things look easy, because this is really easy to us. That's why when we got into this, we said we're going to be really good at this, because Erica's going to do the business and marketing and Steve's going to fix stuff, and that's where our natural skill set lies.
And we're both living what we love doing.
Yeah, and so it's not, I mean, it's work, but it's not really work. I'm like, oh, Steve, did you get me any footage today? And I'm posting on social media because I want to help people learn how to do stuff. Like, I love doing that, so that's my hobby. Okay, now that you understand that, let's go into the different jobs that we do. So I do all the business, the marketing, social media, designing shirts, website, researching any software that we're going to be using. I also do all the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry. That gives me more time to listen to podcasts. And he tries
She
to
won't
touch,
let me do cleaning, no.
Tries to touch a dish, and I'm like, that's my podcast time. You put that down. I have like 4 hours I need to get in between cleaning and exercising. And then when I'm at home, that allows me to get the packages that are coming in from FedEx, UPS, the mail, and then I can open them up and tell Steve which parts arrived. And a lot of times he needs that part for a job later if it arrived. And so that way he can let the customer know what time he's going to be at their job because that part arrived. And then I also go on service calls with you about 3 times a week.
Yeah, when I need an extra hand with something like awning install, air conditioner replacement, or things like that. And it's also the time that Erica gets to record content. I mean, working on jobs, so you get to see a lot more of my face on videos versus me showing you something when I'm recording videos.
Yeah, you can always tell when I'm on the job site and in the stories, because you know that we always post everything in the stories that's going on. And the stories, instead of being 4, will be like 20 that day because Erica was there showing you more of the behind the scenes. And
it might be some days that I don't need a physical hand on the job. I just need someone to manage the phone. So if I have a long job, I know I'm going to be busy, full of grease all day. Erica will be there so she can answer the phone and hold on speaker by me while I can talk to the person with my hands are full of grease.
Mondays seem to be very busy in the Michigan service area. I think it's because things broke on the weekend, but people could get them home, and then they call on Monday to start scheduling to get things fixed. But when I'm on the job site, I answer the phone, write down all the notes that I can, put them into our software, and if they need to talk to Steve to ask questions, I am holding the phone while he's working, and then finish up the phone call. Besides the awnings and using my muscles, I also go on the jobs where it's like 45 minutes or an hour away, and he has about 5 different calls booked in that area because we group everything. And then when I'm driving to different spots, he's on the phone ordering parts or calling back customers to get all the information that he needs for their job.
Which saves a lot of office time. After done with the day, I can have it done during the day.
And then at the end of the day, when we get back, it's usually around 9 o'clock at night, because if I'm on the jobs where he's far away, like we're far away for a reason because we're not going back out there, then I unpack the cooler, clean everything up, and then pack lunch for the next day. And that's when Steve is wrapping up for the day, and he's doing all the job reports that he sends to customers. So go into everything that you do for the business, because right now it looks like you don't do anything, and I'm...
No, I don't. But Erica is not a certified tech. She has no desire to fix people's RVs. She wants to record me fixing RVs and show you how I fix the RV. So I am the tech that does all of the repair work, all the inspections, I order the parts, follow up with customers. Every customer talks to me. I think maybe there's like a couple that only talk to you and you translate through me to go out there.
Well, that's when I'm holding the phone.
Yeah,
You actually
basically,
still talk to them.
I still actually talk to him or communicate somehow. She might type the words or however it works out.
And then you also have to do all the home stuff. So you're going to maintain the vehicles that we have. You're going to cut the grass. And you're going to do, I guess, the boy jobs. And this is different than before when we both worked construction. When we'd come home, we just split the household chores and say, this is everything we need to do. You vacuum, I do dishes, you do laundry. So this isn't like I'm just doing the girl stuff, he's doing the manly stuff. But now that we moved into the house and we're doing this business, I want to do the girl stuff so I can listen to podcasts. Like, honestly, I'm addicted.
She doesn't want to go outside and cut the grass. That's my job.
I am not cutting the grass. I'm walking the cats on the grass.
That's right. You got your grass mowers out there.
Yeah, they're... And after the cats are done eating the grass and you mowed it, you also need to, you'd stock the truck and make sure all the parts are ordered. I don't do any of that.
Yes, to restock everything, make sure the vehicle is ready to go for the next service day.
And you talk to all the warranty companies and all that. Like, if they call me, I'll answer the phone, but I have no idea what's going on. I do know, like, there's an email thread going through, and I'll alert you to, like, hey, they emailed back, you need to call them to get the part ordered.
Right, because I'm not checking emails all day long. Then at the end of the day, when I finish up the customer job reports, I'll answer questions in our Facebook subscriber group, and then any technical questions on our regular Facebook page Erica couldn't answer, she'll say, hey, there's a couple people in there that need your help, answer those questions, and then go to bed, repeat for the next day.
Now we're on to the third section, and this is just the rest of the random tips that people ask. I just shoved it all in this section, so we're still drinking from the fire hose. We're going to go into the first year of business stats. This is going to be customer leads versus job source leads. Okay, we're going to start over on the left-hand side. This, again, is a top 10 list. In our two columns here are customer lead sources and job lead sources. The customer lead source means the first time we got that customer, how did we get them? So Facebook, RV park. The job source lead means when you get the job. So if it's the first time we got the customer, the job lead source is going to be the same. But if the customer rebooks with us, now they're going to become a repeat customer. And that's the interesting part I want to talk about on this report. But we're going to talk about up at the top, we had a total of 631 jobs or segments. You want to explain the difference between them?
Yeah, job is when someone calls, we put them into the system, and we create a job to go out there to fix an air conditioner. And we'll go out there to fix an air conditioner, and it's something we need to order the air conditioner to come back for the whole replacement unit. So that would be segment 2 for that job. So segment 1 was initial diagnostics, and segment 2 is a replacement. And sometimes they add a third thing on. It's kind of related. I'll add that for segment 3. But usually after that air conditioner job was done, if that's what the initial call was for, they have us come back for something else, like some roof maintenance and resealing. That'll be a whole nother job itself.
And so there's probably like 500 real jobs. And we had 306 different customers. And out of the 631 jobs, we captured data for 612 of them. And then this includes all the jobs, even that month and a half that we were off and I had eye surgery. This is going to include all that data. So the interesting part here, when you look at the customer lead source on the left, and then you compare that to the job lead source, you can see how many of those people became repeat customers in that year. So if you look at RV park referral, you see 103. And then over on the job side, you're going to see that it was 91. So the difference between those two numbers means that's how many repeat customers we got from that lead source. And then at the bottom of the list, over on the customer lead source, it says 489. So that's the number of jobs we got out of those top 10 lead sources, which is 77.5% of the amount of jobs that we had.
And the other past that 77.5% would be over on the right, 11 through 31 section.
You can see the position on the side. I did exclude everyone that was like a single person referrer. And you can kind of see the different things that we got, what position they ended up being in. You can see some RV techs in the area. When they can't do a job, they referred them over to us. Online booking, you might look at that and say, well, you only got 7 jobs from your online booking. That doesn't seem very successful. We got a lot more people who booked their jobs, but when we were on the phone with them, we can say, how did you hear about us? And they said, oh, I saw you on Facebook. So that means we're going to change that lead source from online booking to Facebook. For the 7 people for this online booking, we couldn't find a deeper lead source. They either didn't know or we didn't have time to ask. Sometimes you just can't find that information out. Then we have a couple dealerships that refer us business, and one manufacturer called and sent someone our way. In general, lots of places or people are like, I don't know, I just hear about you everywhere. So when you look at this information, you kind of have to think about the different things that might be in play that makes the numbers look lower, and most of them is because we can track that job to a higher lead source of where it actually originated from. I hope you're getting a lot of value from this. It's a lot of information, a lot to digest. We're trying to make it more like a conversation instead of the quick videos I usually edit so you can process the information. Now let's get into the voicemail. Very important.
Yes, it is. And that's the main information source the person hears when they call, and you can answer the phone. So it'll tell them what area we're servicing. So that way they know if they're not in our service area. So we assume if they don't leave a message, they didn't need anything, or they were out of the service area. Also tells them expectations of when we're going to call them back, which is typically within 2 hours or no more than 24 hours before we return their phone call. If someone calls at 10, 11 o'clock at night, if I'm still in the office working, I'll answer the phone because I know if I take care of it then, I don't have to do it the next day. And we've also had last year when we were busy for a little while, we changed the voicemail to say, we are booked up 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time for non-emergency calls or something like that. That way someone calling up, they knew what to expect on that part as well.
With that, we were hoping that if they did not have an emergency, they would just move on to the next person and we didn't have to take our time. And I want to talk about people who use their personal phone for their business phone, and their voicemail is like, hey, you reached Steve, leave me a message. If that's you and you're using it for a business, you really need to change it to a business message so people know what to expect.
The same thing would be if your business phone number is your personal phone, you don't know who's calling, answer it as a business every time someone calls. Don't just say, hey, this is Chris.
Like that's the first impression. That's not good.
Yeah, you need to answer your business name, say hello, be inviting, because I've had people I've talked to before that called other texts and they're like, I don't even know who I was calling. They're like, hey, this is Bill.
Yeah, I can help you with your RV. What's wrong? So the summary, have a detailed voicemail that people know what to expect and where you're located.
And clear your voicemail box out because it does get full.
Oh yeah. When we owned the racetrack, when we tried to hire people, you'd call them and you can't leave a message because you don't clear out your voicemail. So if people can't leave a message with you and you don't answer your phone, they're going to move on to the next person. So make sure your voicemail is cleaned out where there's room for them to leave a message.
It does fill up pretty quick sometimes.
For our business cards, we actually have 2 different types, one for Michigan and one we can use anywhere. Michigan has a map on the back. We actually did that because people are passing our cards out and giving them to people way outside of our service area, and the dealerships are like, oh, call Steve, call Steve. And these people are driving 3 hours the opposite way. And so we're like, we got to stop the chaos that's coming in. So we put the map on the back. And then on we call it the Snowbirding business card, we can use that anywhere, and it has a link to our Google business profile, and they can read the reviews or hop over to the profile and see what our business is about. Now we're going to get into some social media. This is basically all me. Even if Steve records something, he's not allowed to touch it so he doesn't mess everything up. But with stories, we share a variety of content so people know, like, and trust us. We need to take a break because Squeak wants to go out in his cage.
Oh, Squeak. I need to get shoes on. I got to clear a table off that's wet. He's happy.
Now we're going to get into social media. Let's do stories. Even if Steve records something, I'm the one who posts everything. So stories, we share a variety of content. It could be something that's going on during the day. It could be a reel that we made and we share it. And we let people know what's going on with our business and some of our personal lives. You saw a whole bunch if you've been following us about our house, our basement, the garage. You see a lot of different things. You see a lot of our cats around too. Hashtags and checking in on your post. Hashtags, if you don't know what a hashtag is, it's a little pound symbol, and people can follow hashtags. So if you're like RV life, RV maintenance, RV tips, you can put that hashtag and your information might come up on someone's newsfeed. But checking in and putting the location that you're in is very important on social media because that allows the social media algorithm to know where you're at, and then it displays your content to people around you. And if you're trying to get customers around you, you can be discovered. So definitely check in if you want people to know where you're at. Or at the bottom of your Facebook post, I see a lot of texts say, if you need help, give me a call.
Like, we don't know where you're at.
What state are you in? Yeah. Like, even if you hop over to their Facebook page, a lot of times they're like, well, I don't have your phone number because I don't want people just like calling me off the internet. This is my personal number. You have to make it easy for them. So in the bottom of our Facebook posts that are advertisements, I would say, not reels or something, I call it the boilerplate. I don't really know what it's called. But I put Steve Pawlowski, RV Tech, phone number, website. I put all that information so people don't have to search around and try to find it. Another big one is making content that educates people. Not making content that says, look at me, I know how to do everything. I can fix everything. I'm the best. You want to make content that allows the person viewing it or your potential customer to be the hero in their story. You're giving them tips, you're showing them things to look for. It also makes it so they know that you know what you're talking about. Some people are like, I don't ever want to fix that in my RV, but that person knows how. They're in my area. Let me call them because you showed them that you know how to do it. And this also allows people to know, like, and trust you because they see you doing it, they hear your voice, they kind of know what to expect when they call you on the phone because they feel like they know you.
That's very true, Erica. And you can probably tell, Erica is very organized at keeping things flowing in the back end of the business. I'm organized as well, but she takes it to a whole nother level, make sure things are planned out and prepared before we go to new locations, whatever the marketing is, it's seasonal times of the year, all those things that I don't have time to think about. She already has it done.
I'm all about operational efficiency.
That's
That's
right.
me. People are listening to this being like, this girl's a complete dork. Sorry, that's me. Yep, so I have a moving location sheet, which I highly recommend. I have our sheet in our Facebook subscriber group for other techs to download. And on that sheet, it's going to be everything that needs to happen when we move locations. That way we don't have to think about it and nothing falls through the cracks. All the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. So that's going to be things like the voicemail is going to be changed. I'm going to change the location on our website, some wording on the website, our Facebook cover photo, the
Update CoachNet, we're moving.
our pinned post on Facebook, Instagram. There's about 20 different things on the sheet that we need to update to make sure that we're ready to go when we move to the next area. Right now, it's the middle of March, and we're going to arrive to Michigan. We're going to leave Texas, go to Michigan, middle of April. On March 1st, I put a post in our Facebook group letting people know that they can start scheduling de-winterizations in Michigan, had all the information in there. And then on April 1st, I'm going to do it again. Since we did that, we've had people call us and go, oh, I saw the post in the Facebook group. Yeah, I need to get my de-winterization scheduled. The local Chamber of Commerce shared that post because we're a member of them, let you know. I start marketing to that location before we get there. And then I make sure everything's changed right, like pretty much while we're traveling, or the day that we leave Texas, I'll switch everything over. And then when we left Michigan and came down here, we did the same thing, but we already had customers down here and people that we knew lived down here. So we let them know, hey, we're coming down. And they're like, oh, good, I need stuff scheduled. Can I get on your list?
So having things prepared ahead of time certainly helps to roll into the next location. And with going to repeat locations, going back and forth, it also helps the repeat business. We're not starting over from scratch every time we go to a new location.
Our marketing and business is proactive, not reactive. Reactive would mean that when you get there, now I'm going to start doing everything. There are some things once you get here, you got to pass out your business cards to the RV parks, but there's things you can do ahead of time to let people know that you're coming to the area. I do send out a monthly email. We use MailChimp for that, and it's just a really quick read for people who want to follow us and know where we're going. We put educational information. There's 4 sections and what our schedule is so they quickly know. And I can also send out promotional information for the people who signed up for that. It's not going to be for us, like we're not offering a discount, but some of the affiliates that we work with, if they're offering a discount, I can send an email specific for that through the mail system. People also ask if we are paying for social media ads because we have a large following and we're very busy. I'm not opposed to paying for ads. We did it for our last business, but with this business so far, everything has been organic. I'm just putting out videos and content, and people are liking it and sharing it, so then the algorithm shows our stuff to more people, and more people follow you. Another thing that I just thought of that we did for our other business, and I thought of this because they just emailed, and I was like, you know, that would be good to do for Michigan because we have an area that we're always servicing, and where we're at, it's a vacation town, and a lot of people have, like, they own a house, and they have an RV parked in the yard.
I think every third house you drive past, there's an RV.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it for Texas because we basically want to service RV parks while we're here. It's through the USPS, and it's called Every Door Direct Mail, and you can target zip codes. And so this would just be an awareness campaign for us that we would send a mailing out saying, hey, this is our business. We're new in the area. If your RV breaks or your family's coming through something and you need us, let us know. We're here for you.
It's a good way to stay top of mind for people. That way, they don't need it today, but need it tomorrow, but they remember you.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put a discount on that because our schedule's full. It would just be, hey, we're here for you. Now we're down to some frequently asked questions. And one I get all the time is, what software do you use to create your marketing pieces? In our last business, it would have been Adobe, InDesign, Illustrator, and if you are watching this and know anything about that, you know how hard it is. I'm happy to say now I use Canva, and it's so much easier, and you can use it too. So I designed the business cards, the pamphlets, every little graphic that you see on our Facebook page with like the color stuff in the background was a comic type thing.
Oh, yeah.
I do like everything through there. I also design our own shirts and get them printed locally. And there's not like massive shirt designs, it's just our logo. With our old business, I did design shirts on Illustrator, and we sold hundreds of them because it was a racetrack. People bought racing gear. So I have a lot of experience in that. No, we do not have a side business designing stuff for people.
And if you're looking for shirts, you can find any local print shop. They can work with your logo, design things up for you. It's pretty simple to do. There's sign shops around every corner.
If you need any help with your design, you can go to a local marketer or design shop and they can help you. Like, don't worry, you don't have to make your own business cards. I mean, what are the business cards that you can design? Like Sign-Is-On?
Vistaprint.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of places out there you can make your own business cards. And I will say, if you're making your stuff like that, make it clear and easy to read. If you can't put it on the hall, like stick it on the wall and walk past it and figure it out, it's too busy. I just got someone's business card from a local vendor show I was at. I looked at it, I thought they trimmed trees, and it was all green and blurry. My eyes hurt trying to figure out what the writing was on it. So simple is better.
In the font, if you're like, I'm 40, I can read this. Well, who are your customers? Are they 70, 80? That's a lot of our customers. Can they read that? No. Jack up that font so they can read it. Make sure it's not all crammed together. Okay, the next question. Where'd you have your logo done? I did have it professionally done. I don't want to give out the person's name because I don't think they do our type of stuff.
No, they did us a favor, I think.
Yeah. We met them at a campground that we were staying at briefly, and I liked their Instagram, and they said that they did graphic design, and when they did our logo, he said he can squeeze us in a couple months when he gets done with his huge projects. And when I went to his website to see what he does, I'm like, oh, you do really big projects. Thank you for doing our logo. And I do suggest you get your logo professionally done. It doesn't have to be with a high-end designer. A lot of people who do logos, they will have the correct software and they can make you vector file logos, which can easily be printed by a printer. A lot of what I'm seeing right now, I don't know how they're designing them, but it's kind of like they're taking clip art and putting stuff on top of each other, and they're like, I'm good to go. Well, yeah, that's a logo, but it's not easily rendered to make it into like an embroidery. So it's not designed correctly. We had this problem with our last business where we had sponsorships and someone would send you their logo and it wasn't in a vector file, and then you had to spend hours trying to make it into a vector file to put a billboard up.
It doesn't look right when you do that, so professional way to go, and keep that image forever, that file, that way you can always pass it on to the next person. I also see this a lot when someone hires someone or pays someone off the street again to
person under the bridge,
make them a logo, and they don't have the file to it. The person has sent them the image they printed, but when they need it again to print a shirt or change it up, put logo on their work vehicle, something like that, they don't have the actual vector image, and they can't get the job done. They got to start all over again. And
then someone else either has to make that logo, or they're changing their logo and they're changing their branding.
And then customers are confused because they don't know who you are.
All the time. I think it's number one about how we operate the business is, what software do you use? We use two different ones, Housecall Pro and CompanyCam. You want to explain them?
Yes, they integrate together. So Housecall Pro is our CRM, our customer resource management tool. So I put the customer's information in there, their address, phone number, email, lead source, all that stuff is tracked. Then I can create the job for that customer, and when I schedule the job, I get a text when their job is scheduled, also an email with that. And when I'm on the way, I click on the way, they get a text. I can GPS right from the Housecall Pro app and take care of the job, track time, do parts, invoices. They can pay when the job is done. If the customer is not there, I can invoice them and they can pay online with a link. And then CompanyCam, I take all the pictures and information I need from the job site for risk management and for follow-up reports that I will send the customer an RV service report of every job I do, whether it's something small, changing a toilet valve, or a complicated job, replacing a whole slide out.
And this makes our business completely professional. We hear all the time from customers that like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this from a mobile RV tech. I'm not going to use anybody else because you guys have your stuff together.
Everything is very clear, and the customer knows exactly what work we did on their RV. Whether they were there or not, they have the follow-up for the maintenance, for records. That way they can always refer back to that if they need it again.
So you can find these links on our website. It's on our RV discount page, and at the very bottom it has our referral links for both of them. I am doing a live training, if you're watching this when it comes out, on April 29th at 8 p.m. That information is in our private Facebook group for our subscribers. And I do want to say, I don't want to make this sound rude. I don't know how else to say it, but those are our referral links. What I get is people hear about this on other videos, and they go and they sign up for House Call Pro, not through our referral link. We don't get a referral bonus for it. And then they message me and they want me to teach them how to use everything. That's kind of what the referral bonus is. So if you want to buy the software and learn from me, just use our referral link and make sure that we get credit for it. Then I'm happy to. And then I can also see that you signed up, and then I email those people and say, hey, we're hosting another live training. Do you want to be on it?
And another frequently asked question, can I make money as a mobile RV tech? And this is a very loaded question. That's why we made a whole video on this. So you want to check that out. The link is in the description.
We get this question all the time. Actually, that's why we're making all these videos, because these are the exact questions we get constantly from people in our inbox, and we don't have time to respond to everybody.
Hence the frequently asked questions.
The question is, did Steve attend a school to become a mobile RV tech, and what do you think about it if he did?
Yes, I attended the NRVTA in Athens, Texas. So become a certified tech. They go through all the courses, fundamentals, refrigerators, air conditioners, exteriors, water heaters, furnaces. Those are the classes you go through for 5 weeks to become a certified tech. You can add on generator, solar, and inspector on top of that as well.
And we made a whole video about that, very informative, and that is linked in the description as well. Will you mentor me and teach me how to run my business? The short answer is no.
But the long answer, or the ongoing answer I should say, is we do have a subscription group off of our Facebook page, and in the Facebook subscriber group, that's where people can ask questions and I answer them. Business questions, whether you're a mobile RV tech, you're going to be a mobile RV tech, or you're a DIY RVer. Some people are in there just to learn. They like to follow along and know everything I have to say. So we'll post special content in there about jobs, whether we might make a reel for Facebook, but there's an extra 5 minutes of how we got to that point. We'll post all those details inside the Facebook subscriber group so they get the full behind the scenes of all those items.
We're getting towards the end of the video, and I couldn't believe Rosca hasn't made her appearance. She always makes an appearance. So if that sounds like something you want, you definitely want to join the Facebook subscriber group. And talking about subscriber-only content, we just posted a big video about your mobile RV tech setup that we were going to make for public, but when we were doing it, we decided, no, we're not putting this information out, so we're just putting it out to those people who really care about it. Those are the kind of things that we're answering inside that group. She found her way back on the table, of course. So if you do need help learning how to run your business, say you never did it and you need a mentor, well, this isn't a mentorship, but it's a really good program to help you learn how to operate a business. It's called the Small Business RVer School. The NRVTA worked with a business to put it together. It's for RVers, but anyone who operates a business, it teaches you the basics. It doesn't have to be for RVing. And it will take you around 6 months to a year if you actually go through all the material. So it's not like a 2-day course, okay, know how to run a business. It's actually teaching you everything that you need. So I highly recommend that course.
It's a lot of bang for your buck going through information on that.
You can find the links to everything that we have been talking about in the description of this YouTube video. And there are actually 24 more frequently asked questions that were submitted on this topic alone when I asked on our Facebook page. So I'm not going to keep doing it on this video. We are having a Facebook Live at the end of March. So if you're watching this before that, you can join us live. Information's on our Facebook page. Once that's done, I'm going to upload that Facebook Live onto the YouTube channel, and you're going to want to watch that next.